Hey you guys, hey, my name is Tiffany Dionne and I have a story for you. As you all know, I was kidnapped when I was 10 years old. I was ultimately sex trafficked as a young adult. I have the book called Restore, which is a story of me being taken in the journey to being found again. And so I'm gonna share this story with you. I was sitting with my sister one day. I've known her ever since I was a little girl. So we're sisters, right? And I was hurting about this thing. I was really, really hurt. And she's like, you know you gotta deal with that, right? I'm like, what you mean? She's like, you know you gotta deal with that, because if you don't, you're gonna act a fool. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you gotta address it, because if you don't, I know you're going to act a fool. So I'm gonna give you some backstory on that statement, you're gonna act a fool. I've known her since I was a teenager. And she's a little bit older than me. So I might have been like 12 when I met her. She's a little bit older than me. And she always knew something was going on when I was being exploited, when I was being taken advantage of, when I was ripping and running in the streets, when I was getting in all this trouble. She always knew something was going on, and she would address it, but she never knew quite what, because I would keep so many things from her. I lived a very compartmentalized life, and it wasn't on purpose. I just let people know who were crazy, the crazy stuff that I was doing, and who were normal, the normal stuff that I was doing. So I just kept things separate. So when she read my book, a couple of years ago as an adult, like it really bothered her. She's like, Tiffany, how come you never shared all these things with me? If I had known, I would have all this stuff. And so, but looking back, she has hindsight. She could see all the patterns, all the habits. Every time, something was about to happen, I would start to act a certain kind of way, right? So here we are, years later. I'm not being exploited by anybody today. I'm not being beat up on by anybody or any of that stuff. But we still have habits, right? And so now she's talking to me. I'm hurt. I'm hurting over a guy. And she's like, if you don't address it, you're going to nut up. And what she was saying was, the same Tiffany you were back then still has some of those habits today. If you don't address that pain, you're gonna nut up. So I'm telling you all that to say, whatever patterns, whatever habits, whatever things try to creep up on you in cycles and resurface whenever something goes wrong, you gotta address it, or else you're gonna nut up. My way of nutting up might not be yours, but we all got patterns and habits. So go ahead and address it. I love you so much. Have a great day.